Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I am Ling Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's stories. The powerful storm that swept through the plains brought more rain, snow, and freezing temperatures to the West Coast. California saw more rare snow blanket the state's cities and mountains. Property owners in Oakland held a hunger strike over the weekend. They say the city's eviction moratorium is hurting their livelihoods. Local authorities have arrested more suspects in connection to last month's shooting in Central California. All the suspects are reportedly gang members. A powerful storm that swept through the southern plains overnight caused widespread damage. At least 7 tornadoes were reported early Monday in Oklahoma, leaving nearly 50,000 customers without power. And parts of California were blanketed by snow from Friday to Sunday.
This is the wind outside right now. You can't even see.
Severe storms rolled across Midwestern states Sunday evening. A tornado warning was issued for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas.
What in the world is that?
One such storm produced strong gusts and bursts of lightning in Sublette, Kansas. And in the town of Liberal, Kansas, winds damaged homes and toppled trees and power lines. At least one person was hurt from flying glass. The storms left about a dozen families homeless. And hurricane-force winds and severe thunderstorms tore through Texas on Sunday. Parts of California were blanketed by snow from Friday to Sunday. More than 6 feet of snow fell in some parts of the state.
So much snow on the deck.
And parts of Los Angeles saw a blizzard warning, the first since 1989. The storm brought snow to higher elevations, and rain and hail fell in the flatlands, causing some areas to flood. Nearly 85,000 households and businesses were without power in the Los Angeles area. The storm is expected to move into the northeast. Mid-Atlantic to New York will face with heavy rain and some snow today. Up to 6 inches are expected in the Boston area by Tuesday.
Property owners in one Bay Area county are suing and even protesting with a hunger strike to end the eviction moratorium. They say the policy is hurting their livelihoods.
Landlords and property owners gathered at the Alameda County Administration Building on Sunday for a hunger strike to protest the nearly 3-year-long eviction moratorium.
Like Mr. Wu, who was on hunger strike because of the damage he suffered from these moratoriums. They are theft, it is abuse of power, they are stealing our home, and they have enabled people to not pay rent for 3 years. This moral hazard is the fault of the county and the city. They have passed these laws, they have allowed people to steal from hardworking Americans, and they must be ended right away.
A local property owner, George Wu, started a hunger strike Sunday. His signs read, "Need rent to feed my family. My son needs tuition fee." And eviction moratorium kills housing.
So I'm here today to tell the community we landlords have it difficult too. Our wealth comes from our painstaking labor. I'm not against the government protecting tenants, but the government needs to find the middle ground. They need to come up with better policy and protect us landlords. This way it would be a fair policy.
According to the East Bay Times, Wu owns a triplex in San Leandro. He says the policy led to some renters falling behind on payments. This then led to him accumulating $120,000 in debt. He tells the media outlet he intends to protest at least a month or two, or until death. The moratorium started during the pandemic to help tenants when they couldn't go to work.
And we have provided housing for low-income people for 50 years. But this is the end. If this eviction moratorium doesn't go away, we won't re-rent because the next person will move in and just not pay the rent. And we can't afford that. I mean, we're getting pretty old here.
County and city officials recently extended the moratorium again by anywhere from a few months to a year. Similarly, Los Angeles County officials voted in January to extend the moratorium by 2 months.
I'm all for helping tenants that deserve help. But now we have 3 years, long past the original idea of the moratorium. The original idea of the moratorium was make it so people didn't have to go out when COVID was raging. Well, everybody has a shot now. Everybody can go back to work now. So what's left are politicians that are too weak. They're afraid to get rid of the moratorium. And they need to stand up for the people that have been paying taxes, that have been providing services to Alameda, Oakland, the whole Bay Area for years.
In March 2022, a coalition of landlords called the Housing Providers of America sued Alameda County and Oakland to end the eviction moratorium.
Twitter reportedly laid off more employees over the weekend. The job cuts affected around 200 workers, or about 10% of its workforce. They were said to have been let go on Saturday. Those impacted include engineers who worked on machine learning and site reliability, as well as data scientists and product managers. Among them was Chief Executive of Twitter Payments, Esther Crawford. Crawford is the founder of the Squad app. She oversaw the blue checkmark subscription service recently implemented at the company. Twitter CEO Elon Musk said last month the company had a headcount of about 2,300 active employees. CNBC says it's seen internal records that show the number is closer to 1,300. That would mean the company has reduced its workforce by about 80% since Musk took over. Musk tweeted out yesterday, "Hope you have a good Sunday, first day of the rest of your life." Twitter did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Law enforcement in Central California have arrested more suspects responsible for killing 6 people last month, bringing the total number of arrests to over 24 people. They are gang members in possession of illegal drugs and firearms.
Dubbed Operation Nightmare, the Tulare County Sheriff's Office announced on February 24th they arrested a total of 26 suspects connected to the massacre in Goshen on January 16th. The incident left 6 people dead, including a mother and her baby. The suspects are known gang members who had illegal guns and drugs. Officers from several cities served 18 arrest warrants, seized 6 firearms, and searched a total of 97 homes during the 4-day operation. They also found an illegal firearm manufacturing operation aimed at selling untraceable firearms to other gang members. They seized parts used to assemble AR-15-style firearms and parts to make a handgun fully automatic. 8 of the suspects were booked at the Tulare County Adult Pre-Trial Facility for crimes including child endangerment, possession of drug paraphernalia, gang enhancement, and felon in possession of a firearm. Their ages range from 25 to 44 years old. This follows a previous announcement from February 3rd when the initial efforts of Operation Nightmare led to the arrest of 2 suspects. Authorities also learned at the time the suspects and 2 members of the victim's family have a long history of gang violence.
Northern California's Yurok tribe will be working with the U.S. Marshal Service as a pilot location for the agency's Missing and Murdered Indigenous Persons initiative. U.S. Marshal Service Director Ronald Davis said, quote, "It's my sincere hope that by dedicating resources in Indian country and partnering with the Yurok tribe, U.S. Marshals will help address the problem of missing children from the Yurok tribe and assist with other public safety initiatives." The Yurok tribe chairman Joseph James stated that the tribe is grateful for the partnership and, quote, "The knowledge and tools we'll gain from this unique partnership will significantly increase our capacity to keep our community safe." We're going to take a short break, but here's a look at what we got for you when we come back. A California Supreme Court judge affirmed that local school districts cannot require COVID-19 vaccines for students. The court upheld a previous ruling, came to the same conclusion. Hollywood producers celebrated Tom Cruise's career at one of the key awards ceremonies ahead of the Oscars. The famous actor received a Lifetime Achievement Award. And biologists are looking for new ways to spot wolves and fit them with the tracking colors. The data will help trace migration patterns and warn ranchers in the area if wolves are nearby. That and more on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, Ling Zhang. A nonprofit watchdog claims that U.S. Representative Katie Porter from California illegally used official congressional resources in her new election campaign. The Democrat from California is running to replace Senator Dianne Feinstein in the 2024 election. The Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust complaint alleges that Porter used official funds to pay for ads that were used for official purposes, but also for her campaign. The virtually identical ads were produced and distributed by the same company. Multiple laws and congressional rules bar lawmakers from paying for campaign expenses with taxpayer funds. Porter's spokesman disputed the legal complaint. He says the vendor for the ads is approved by the House, and that all of the content was officially reviewed by both Democrat and Republican staff. Porter is no stranger to ethics controversies. Last year, the Heritage Foundation president filed an ethics complaint against her after she accused one of the think tank's experts of lying to Congress. Porter also faced the questions when she bought a house for half the average sales price of homes in the area of her district. The California Supreme Court affirmed that school districts cannot require students to get a COVID-19 vaccine. The courts ruled that only the state has the authority.
The California Supreme Court rejected an appeal on February 21 and affirmed a 3-0 opinion that only the state has the authority to mandate vaccines in schools. The court rules that school districts cannot require students to get a COVID-19 vaccine. In October 2021, Let Them Breathe, an education advocacy group, sued the San Diego Unified School District over its proposed COVID-19 vaccine mandate. In November, the state's 4th District Court of Appeals ruled that school districts had no authority to mandate vaccines. San Diego Unified appealed that ruling shortly after. The school district based its argument on a state law that allows schools to, quote, administer an immunizing agent to a pupil. But Judge Dotto wrote that law only applies to vaccines already approved by the state. The judge added, quote, in a nutshell, local variations must give way to a uniform state standard. Sharon McKeeman, founder of Let Them Breathe, said she was proud their lawsuit protected the students of San Diego Unified and potentially other California students. She added that parents' focuses are now shifting to, quote, safeguarding their children from harmful laws being proposed during the legislative season. Currently, California requires school children to receive 10 vaccinations. These include immunizations against measles, mumps, chickenpox, polio, and rubella.
A large group of Hollywood actors say they're being locked out of their union buildings and blocked from competing for their roles. This because they decided against taking the COVID-19 shot. NTD's Daniel Monahan has more.
The actors say the mandate violates their right to informed consent and protection against what they characterize as medical experimentation. They add that there is now overwhelming proof of potentially dangerous health risks. Some actors also shared stories of the health problems they got after getting the vaccine. Actress Michelle Jubilee Gonzalez of Stargate Origins says she believes she developed both reproductive and cardiac-related health problems immediately after getting a COVID injection, while actress Lynn Marie Meiser-Jewski of Desperate Housewives and CSI New York says she developed several medical conditions after taking the shot, including peripheral neuropathy in one of her legs. The controversy heated up 3 weeks ago when the Screen Actors Guild Union, or SAG, decided not to end but extend COVID vaccine mandates and other protocols for members. Meanwhile, actor Woody Harrelson sent shockwaves throughout national media over his unscripted monologue mocking COVID vaccine mandates on Saturday Night Live. In talking about a fictional script he says he rejected, Harrelson said this: The movie goes like this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes, and people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away, who's going to believe that crazy idea? The Mentalist actress Maya Dunbar says refusing the COVID injection has become like the scarlet letter in Hollywood. Actors say SAG is violating their Title VII rights, which require employers to accommodate employees' religious beliefs. It is the same argument under which healthcare workers have won lawsuits against hospitals that have denied them exemption from the vaccine. The executive director of SAG did not respond to requests for comment. Daniel Monahan, NTD News.
Hollywood producers celebrated Tom Cruise's career on Saturday. The event took place at one of the key awards ceremonies ahead of next month's Oscars.
My whole life, I wanted to make movies. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted adventure. As a kid, I'd create characters. I wrote stories to entertain my family and friends.
The Producers Guild of America honored Cruise with a Lifetime Achievement Award. The 60-year-old Cruise rose to fame as the star of Risky Business, Cocktail, A Feel-Good Man, and other films. His producing credits include Vanilla Sky, The Last Samurai, the Mission Impossible movies, and Maverick. That film hauled in nearly $1.5 billion at worldwide box offices. Biologists are looking for new ways to spot wolves and other animals and fit them with tracking collars. The data will be used to trace their migration patterns and warn ranchers.
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife, or CDFW, began efforts to capture wolves and other animals using leading-edge aviation helicopters. Biologists and veterinarians hope to fit the animals with collars to track them. CDFW says the data will help track wolf migration patterns and warn ranchers if a wolf heads toward their direction, so they can take steps to protect their livestock. Peter Tira, a CDFW spokesperson, said that the first wolves were caught on Wednesday. Tira added, quote, "Wolves are smart. They live in remote locations, away from humans." The CDFW is asking the public for help by reporting when and where they spot wildlife, but reminds people don't approach wildlife, even to get a photo. The effort to spot animals by air will continue until February 28th. Gray wolves were hunted to extinction in California in the 1920s. Then, in 2011, a wolf migrated from Oregon to California, and the first pack, the Shasta Pack, appeared in 2015. Since then, 3 wolf packs have formed in California: the Lassen Pack, Whaleback Pack, and Beckworth Pack, all in the forests of Northern California. Gray wolves are now protected under the California Endangered Species Act.
Now let's check in with NTD's Tyler Castile for today's Sports Roundup.
Welcome, I'm Tyler Castillo and I'm taking you through the California Today Sports Roundup.
On February 24th, the TechCU Arena located in San Jose hosted the Sharks Legends game in honor of Patrick Marleau's jersey retirement. Marleau officially retired this offseason. In this game, we saw Mr. San Jose, Patrick Marleau, play one last game with former teammates. There are legends to the Sharks franchise, such as former teammates Joe Thornton and Yevgeny Nabokov.
Really all of them. I don't know, like the list is just like, the lineup's pretty epic. So like as I was like reading, I got like more and more excited, like each player that I saw. So it'll be fun.
I think, it's a shame that we never won the cup with both of them on our team. They're such great players. The fact that they were taken 1 and 2 for the 1997 draft. And, when Doug Wilson traded for him to join him with Marleau, I just thought there's no way we can't win with both of these guys on our team. So growing up, it was always great watching both of them.
Fans were welcome to watch the exhibition game with fans coming from around the world to view the Sharks in their vintage glory once again.
What's their legacy here?
I think one of them is Mr. Shark, and one of them is known for a fantastic beard, a couple Hart trophies. They both got great careers. We actually just flew in from Arizona. Our plane landed 6:30.
Yes.
So we just drove straight here because we want to see this game so bad.
So you flew in from Canada. What made you? Yeah, what made you want to come out here to see this specific game?
Well, specifically to see my future son-in-law, and then secondly, because of course, we Toronto Maple Leafs fans who should never see me in this jersey.
Oh no!
Right? Love Marleau just as much as you guys do, so that's why we're here.
He's a great skater.
Patrick Marleau surpassed Gordie Howe to break the all-time games played record with 1,779 games played and 910 consecutive games played during that stretch.
I think it's really awesome. Any really cool record to hold is pretty awesome, like bragging rights. I'm all about that.
Marleau holds most of the Sharks scoring records and is now the first player in Sharks history to have his number retired.
Besides being super handsome, he's just a really awesome player, and since day one, he's just been fire on the ice, and he's pretty awesome to watch.
How does it feel that Patrick Marleau is officially the most games played in the NHL, beating Gordie Howe?
I think it's really awesome. Any really cool record to hold is pretty awesome, like bragging rights. I'm all about that.
What does Patrick Marleau mean to you?
He's just a really awesome representative on and off the ice for our team and for the fans, and it's just really awesome.
Marleau's legacy will forever be remembered in the hockey world and in San Jose.
Oh, he is San Jose, right? He's been playing since his drafted year with the Sharks, and it's amazing, right? He is San Jose.
Thanks for tuning in to the California Today Sports Roundup.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts on our California Today webpage. You can find it at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm Ling Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.